High-end and exotic vehicles are being stolen at a record rate. Just recently, 2 brand new 392 Jeep Wranglers were stolen right out of either the owner's driveway or an airport, and they were extremely valuable vehicles. Today on Dirt Road CRED, we're going to show you 10 mods we found on Amazon that can help you, hopefully, protect your vehicle from being stolen. So the way we look at this video is we're breaking it down into 3 categories, and it's something that we kind of thought, what is the process of actually getting your vehicle stolen? The first category and the first couple parts we're going to look at is in the prevention method. These are mods that are going to stop them right in their tracks before they get into the vehicle and hopefully prevent the theft from ever occurring. The second category that we're going to look into is what happens when they're inside the vehicle. We've got some mods laid out that will hopefully deter potential car thieves if they've got inside your vehicle on stealing them and taking the whole vehicle. And then the last case scenario, the one that we hope we never, ever have to use, is the aftermath. We have some products that if the vehicle does get stolen, we hope that these will help locate it, help authorities, and help people find and get their vehicles back in, unfortunately, whatever case they might be in. Now, on all the mods today, they are not Jeep specific. We just so happen to have a 2-door behind us, and we are a Jeep channel, so you could use this on pretty much any vehicle. And without further ado, let's help prevent Ryan's Jeep from getting stolen. The first one we're going to show you today is in the prevention model, and this one actually doesn't mount on your vehicle. This will go in your driveway or wherever you park your vehicle, and this is a wireless alarm system that actually looks like a small little owl. Now what's cool is they include all these different mounting brackets. So you've got the backing plates, you've got almost like a ram mount ball, this connector here, another backing plate, and they actually give you, depending on what kit you purchase, 2 of the sensors. So you get 2 of these with there. So you could set this on the back of your mailbox, you could set it right in front of your vehicle, and set it up to where you're not gonna mistake this with something else. You know, if this is behind your mailbox and you're getting an alarm at 2 in the afternoon, it's probably your mailman walking a package. You hear this thing go off at 3 in the morning, it has animal detection and it's not gonna pick up a false sensor. So let's show you how it works. So Ryan, I'm gonna go plug this in because hopefully it saved the audio, but you can actually set this to make some really cool tones. So let's plug this in. So you can adjust the volume, you can set different tones to it. It's probably got about 20, but we picked our favorite because, well, we'll let you listen to it. Okay. It's like old-fashioned thief going to steal your Jeep. So really the magic of this, once this stops, is you'll see that the red light on the back of here illuminates, and this would obviously have a cover on the backside, but the red light illuminates when there's motion, and we already tried this out, Ryan. I walked it about 100 foot from the garage here, and it still got reception. So you can change the audio tone, right? Like if I change this, some of them are really happy, and for me, this is like your vehicle's getting stolen. You can change it to all DEFCON level 1, Jeep stolen. Either way though, guys, I'm gonna pull that out because I don't wanna listen to it throughout the entire video. But this is a pretty good preventative measure here to be able to plug this in inside next to your nightstand, wherever you find it convenient. Put this outside somewhere where it's gonna detect motion going in, maybe by your driver's door or something like that. And then you're gonna hear this. If this goes off that early in the morning or sometime that's not where it should normally be going off, you know that something's wrong. The second one is to prevent would-be car thieves from copying your very sensitive Jeep frequency. So the actual remote frequency that comes out of your key, your vehicle, at least in the Jeep's case, is always searching for this frequency. So your Jeep is sending out saying, hey, we're looking for this frequency. As soon as someone matches the same frequency your Jeep is looking for, it's gonna be able to get in and copy it onto a key fob and start your vehicle. Remember, Ryan's Jeep just needs keys to get in. Yours is actually kind of safer with the key needing to get in. Mine does unlock and lock right from the remote and starts with just the fob. What we've got laid out here is a 2-pack of these Faraday bags. Now, from what I'm being told, when you put your keys inside these bags, they will not be able to replicate the frequency and you won't be able to start your Jeep. Now, what I want to do, Ryan, do you have your keys on you or are they inside the Jeep here?
I thought there was one.
These are my keys.
Oh, yeah,
I already actually stole your keys and I'm going to steal your Jeep.
They're in the
So let's try something quick here. Ready? What we're going to do is we're going to take Ryan's very sensitive keys and we're going to put them in the Faraday bag. Close it up. I'm going to get in your Jeep and I'm going to attempt to start it while it's in the bag. All right, ready? So here, let's try something. I'll pull it out of the bag first. We're going to set the key right here. We'll start Ryan's Jeep. Right, start it up, no problem. Shut it off. Inside the Faraday bag, inside that, let's close it, seal it, no camera magic, we put it in. Key fob not detected.
Put your foot on the brake.
Come look. So I know that was a little jump there, but look. I'm repeatedly pressing the start button. It says push the button to the fob to start.
Nice.
That's going to prevent somebody from stealing your Jeep with the frequency. So this is really meant for someone getting inside your vehicle or copying this code and being able to send it out. A thief can get this frequency from pretty far away depending on the vehicle. So if you're going to use this, put it inside your house, throw it in the bag quick before you go to sleep, and just close it up. I put it by my keys. So I have a section of my house that actually has all my keys. Just throw it in there, set it there, and then in the morning, this one isn't inconvenient too. So there's no remotes, there's no fobs. Open it up, grab your key out, walk out to your vehicle. If you're in an office building, your Jeep sits outside or maybe on the street, take one of these to work and throw it in the bag. You're not going to be able to get the frequency inside here. So here's a small little one. After, you know, someone's looking around your vehicle, they're thinking if it's an easy target. Check this one out, guys. So we got this little piece right here. This was less than 10 bucks. I'm going to turn it on from the side, and it is USB rechargeable as well. Check this out. So it's just a solar powered red emitting light. So you can get these in a couple different colors. We chose ours in red. It comes with 3M backing on the backside, and like I said, it does have solar cells in here. What the goal of this would be is to maybe make someone think that you have a high-end security system. So guys, we're just gonna set this up here to see how it looks. Maybe you'd put it on the corner on like the passenger side, get a 2-pack or a 1-pack. That way you would still get the sun, because you need to make sure that it's getting sun from the windshield. Put it right up on there in the grill shroud. I don't know, if I'm first walking up at night, let me shut the lights off quick and we'll see if you can see it. I think you'd have to combine this with something else though. You know, if you're gonna spend a little bit of money, you might as well get 2 things. This is pretty cheap though, and it flashes pretty well. So for less than 10 bucks, it might prevent someone from looking in and thinking any further. The next one actually came from a suggested item on Amazon, and I figured we could use it on a Jeep just because they're so open. They're almost like a bicycle or a motorcycle. This is actually a vibration security alarm system for a bicycle or something else that you are gonna notice vibrations and an alarm's gonna go off. Now, a lot of people, when they're going to steal a vehicle, they're going to mess with something. When a car alarm's going off, you're like, somebody must have bumped the emergency button. They must have hit it the wrong way. You hear the horn going off at night. Who cares? Who curs?
Yeah,
who curs? You know, that's the neighbor down the road. But when you hear something like this going off, you know that something's being stolen. This is an alarm. It comes with a recharging cord. It comes with instructions. Looks like you can bolt the alarm onto something too. So it comes with zip ties. It's got the alarm, and it's got this little remote. You can tell it's for a bicycle because this is like a 2-bar mount for a bicycle handle. The remote's pretty small though. Check this out when it pops out. But what I figured you could do is you could set this either on the inside of your door panel, you could set it on your seat, set it on your steering wheel. You're gonna have to move it to start the Jeep. That's what you want. You want somebody to have to move this. I read a review, some guy says he lives in New York City, he put this on his bicycle seat, like just lace it on the seat, and he can hear it 10 floors up. And I kind of like that review because it's like, that makes sense. You know, when would you ever lay an alarm right on the seat, but you're gonna have to move it to move the bike. This was less than 20 bucks. So we're gonna set this in the Jeep. I'm gonna hit the button. I'm gonna deafen Ryan. So here, watch, we'll unlock it. You're allowed to like,
Loud.
that's probably really bad for you with headphones on. So you can unlock it. And then let's just say I'm about to thieve your Jeep, Ryan. I'm gonna put it right here. Then I hit the lock button. Now you have 3 seconds, or when that goes off. So that went off, it's armed. I'm gonna touch it. That's like uncomfortable loud. You guys might not be picking it up, but also I feel like that was like the warning. Did you hear that? Like that first like was kind of like, like here, all right, I'll lock it again. And it goes like, ready? Like, don't you do it. And then if I touch it again, you're not gonna be sitting in a vehicle too long with that. You're not gonna wanna sit there, look through things, you're gonna wanna throw this thing out the window, and then you're still gonna hear it. This key fob's not too big, but that's something you're gonna have to live with, right? Like if you're picking up some of these cheaper items, you might have a key fob, you might have something else. This is one of those, you're gonna have to keep the key fob, but I don't know, with the topless and doorless Jeep, this might not be too bad, Ryan. The next one here is gonna be a preventative method of preventing someone from taking your entire vehicle or even gaining access to the vehicle. And I would say right away, before we even start, this would be used for long-term applications. And when I say that, maybe you're going away from your vehicle for an extended period of time. You're flying out of the country, you're going on vacation, your Jeep's sitting at home, outside, unprotected. What we've got in here is actually a mod. Ryan, you might be amazed. I've never seen this one. I actually never saw it before I even bought it. This is a remote battery disconnect system. When you pull this out, you have some 2 terminal ends here. you've got 2 key fobs. So you've got kind of your standard key fobs here. And then inside of this, that's where all the magic is. So this thing right here is actually a remote battery disconnect switch that you would be wiring to your battery. So what's interesting about this is that you're gonna wire this up in line to your positive or your negative terminals, however the instructions say, and you can actually turn it on and off from a remote. So Ryan, you would mount this up, say you'd mount it like right here, run it to your battery, have it in line to your positive terminal. When you open and close this, it's basically taking power to and from your Jeep. So like when you lock this and walk away, your Jeep has no power going to it. And without the remote to open it, you'd have to get underneath the hood, you'd have to wire it, you'd have to figure out what was going on. And for a lot of people that are looking to make a quick and easy getaway, you're not going to be doing all that. Plus, you could hide this pretty good. The reason I say that you'd probably want to use this for a long-term application is because I'm pretty sure that on some Jeeps, you would start to lose all your settings every time you turned it on and off. So you'd lose like all your presets, your garage door opener, all that other fun stuff. But if you turn it off for a long trip, it might be well worth it for you. For this next section, all of our preventative methods have failed. They are inside your Jeep, either stolen things or they're going to try and steal the vehicle. The first one we've got here is an interesting one that honestly I wasn't even sure existed. This is a brake or gas pedal deterrent or lock. So basically what this does is slides around your brake or gas pedal. This then goes around it like so and prevents it from being pushed in. A lot of modern vehicles actually require your brake pedal to be pushed in order to get it to start. So what this is going to do is prevent that from happening. So you guys are going to get a kick out of this, but we had to do it. The old club style steering wheel lock. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have lived in some different centuries than we did have used these in their vehicles. Not centuries, decades. So here it is, guys, the OG, the club lock or the steering wheel lock. This is the original one here. This thing is supposedly, if you're in the vehicle, you have this on, you won't be able to steer the wheel. Therefore, you're not gonna wanna steal it. Plus, it is very bright, so from the outside of the vehicle, it's not really, it's gonna deter people pretty well. So we're gonna put it on like this, twist the key, and now Ryan, see if I would turn to the right.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Sorry.
This one's the old school one. It's the old school method, and it just comes with a really interesting looking key here that you're probably not going to be able to pick too well. And I will say, add this to the other deterrents. I probably wouldn't mess with a vehicle that has this on. I wouldn't look at it right away and be like, all right, I'm going to get in there and try and turn this wheel. But this is like the oldest one in the book here, and we just wanted to show it off on Ryan's super expensive steering wheel. That's probably, they probably would steal the Jeep just for this wheel, here, right? And then just let the rest, you know, sport. Are you kidding me? All right, so let's take this one off. And we'll show you the next mod, but actually, I think you could use that in combination with this one. And then
Double protection.
Double protection. Remember, guys, they're in your vehicle. Check this out. So this is a steering wheel lock that actually goes into your seatbelt receptacle. So let's show you how this works. So we're gonna take it, we're gonna go through a section of our steering wheel. Let's go through this little bit of our carbon fiber wheel. Run this through, just like so. And then take this down to our steering or to our seatbelt and plug it in. I mean, you could turn the wheel, but you're probably not getting it farther than like a half a turn. And Jeeps have bad turning radiuses, so you're not getting too far. Drop your tip of what you can do without buying any of this to help prevent theft. Because one thing I would say is like turn your wheel all the way. So Ryan, when you park, turn your wheel all the way to the left, put this thing on. What are you gonna do? Turn it 1/2 turn to the right and it's still gonna be turning. You're not gonna be able to get it out. So what's cool about this is it wraps around. It's got some soft coating here so we won't damage the wheel. And then when you're ready to get it off, it comes with a set of 3 keys. Just push that in. Just like that. So another cool one, we're out in the Jeep here. I wanted to show you if you've got a Taser for your Jeep or other Mopar vehicle, you can actually go into the live settings here under the screen, hit the OK button, scroll through here. So it's gonna go through brake hold, home link, in motion. I've got all these kind of set the way I want. But then when you go on here, you can set pins. So you can set a pin on your Taser to actually do a sequenced amount of motions here on your control panel on the steering wheel. And if you don't do that, your Jeep basically locks down, your brakes all engage, it sets all sorts of stuff off, and you cannot steal the vehicle, or at least it makes it very hard to. Now guys, we're at the end of this video, or very close to it. This is probably the worst case scenario. They get into your vehicle, they avoid all those preventative measures we showed you, they somehow get past the billy club, the locks, the Taser, anything else you have set to it. your Jeep gets stolen. I can only imagine the pain in people that they're feeling that. I can imagine it happening to me, and I just imagine how mad I would be, and upset and concerned and worried, and where's it at, what's it being done with. You know, I've read a lot of stories, and sometimes when you get the vehicle back, if you ever do, you don't even want it back. I've seen these things get ripped apart. I've seen them so far stripped. There's a guy with a TRX that literally, Ryan, had about this section of the vehicle left. That was it. Everything else was stolen and parted out. So your Jeep gets stolen, now what are you gonna do? Well, your vehicle does have, if you have Sirius built in, the Sirius Guardian will track your Jeep if you pay for that subscription service. And I believe the Jeep app will also help. So you could give the local authorities your login to all that information. But then I've got two other products here on the table. One is an assistance to another product. Actually, we'll put three right here on the table. How about it, Ryan?
Yeah.
Three things that I think might help if it does happen. So first off, you guys might give me grief in the comments for this, Apple AirTag. I've had, let's just say I have a couple of these in my Wrangler and in a lot of my other vehicles, and I have them in very discreet locations that we're not gonna talk about on the internet because that's the whole point of them being discreet. It is not intended to be used for stuff like this. So I'll put a little caveat. They say don't put them on dog like tags. They don't say don't put them in your vehicles. It's just to locate items, but you put a couple of these in there, it does a decent job, at least in my opinion. Now what this mod does that we've got, you have to buy an Apple AirTag first, and then they've actually 3D printed a magnetic case for it. So you take your Apple AirTag, you unscrew this. This is actually really cool. Set it right into place like so. Thread this thing back on, which it gets like tight, the threads actually connect, and then this is a bolted on very strong magnet. What I would suggest to you, if you have one of these, find a spot in your Jeep where it's not going to be able to fall off and land on the floor and leave. The second thing, AirTags have speakers in them. If you've ever been followed by a random AirTag, you can actually make it play a sound so you can hear it. If this is being used for your vehicle, you want to have this in a location where someone that's going to be able to pop that up and disable it won't be able to find where it's at. Or buy one of these, Ryan. I've got one of these that actually holds it on a keychain. But this is a good way if you've got Apple products to help track it and really just give yourself a little bit of peace of mind. But I wanted to mention, if we're at this point in the conversation, it's not good. I spoke to my mom. She works in the insurance industry for a very long time. If your vehicle does get stolen, it's not as simple as calling someone and saying, hey, it's stolen, I don't know what to do, give me a new vehicle. There's a lot of problems, really, because the insurance companies don't want to pay for a vehicle, and you want your dang vehicle back. It is not as simple as that, so I just wanted to kind of show all these today to hopefully, I hope, prevent some of this stuff from happening to you guys that are watching this. We've got this one too. So Ryan, this one was recommended on Amazon. I want to say this was 15 bucks. I don't know, 15 bucks, 20 bucks. It was like 50,000 purchased last month. So what this is a GPS 3G, 4G, 2G, and this does require subscription service. So I'm gonna open this up. So this has its own cell service. It's got its own tracker. That's a waterproof piece, a chargeable battery. You get your screw kit, and then what this does is it's gonna go anywhere in your vehicle. Same way that the last one does. There's some of these that use USB ports. This one came recommended by a ton of people, and when you see 50,000 purchased in a month, you can tell that they're doing something right. I've seen these track entire fleets, and this is good if you don't have Apple products and you wanna track multiple vehicles or multiple items. If you're worried about theft of your vehicle, you're worried about protecting your investment, because I'll be real with you, my Jeep behind my house is probably my most valuable asset. Ryan, you can definitely agree with that. For a lot of people, it's the same way. So we wanted to help you in this video, give you a lot of options that help fit your budget. Maybe some are a little bit more expensive. And then we have a really cool video to follow up with this with the company we're gonna be working with in the future. We'll have all the links down below in the description. And remember, we purchased everything on Amazon. If you do buy something, we might earn a little bit of a commission to help support the channel. So we really appreciate you guys doing that. My name's Matt, Ryan's behind the camera, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.